Oh, hello.
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 What's going on?
I
Girlfriend?
have a mouse in my house.
Hold on. Slow down. That's too quick.
No. I have a mouse in my house.
Okay.
It's important.
That was like 8 seconds into the episode.
Uh-huh.
You really just can't wait to talk about this mouse.
Yeah. Well, it's not, well.
This is
not that I
Goose
can't
Chase. Hello.
Hi.
There is a mouse in Christy's house.
There's a mouse in my house.
We are off with it.
Yeah. We're going to talk all about my mouse.
Yeah.
My roommate.
This is a concerning message I received from you this morning.
Yeah. What did I say?
It's like I woke up at like 9 and I read from you, I just woke up and I guess I'm not going back to bed because there is a mouse in my bedroom.
Yes. That was around 5 in the morning. Mm-hmm. So what happened is I already was going to bed late because I have a problem. I'm an insomniac and I can't fucking help it. So
yeah,
I was already going to bed much later than I wanted to. And then I'm finally settling in. I was still kind of watching an episode of Scientology in the aftermath. And I shut the lights off and I'm starting to like wind down. And then I start hearing rustling sounds. Mm-hmm. And I am a garbage person and I've discussed my depression nest before. So I have like bags mostly full of like crafty things on the floor. Just like plastic bags with stuff in them. So I hear rustling through bags, like to the side of my bed. And I will hear it, and I'm kind of listening to an episode, so I pause the episode, turn the light on, it stops. Turn the light off, give it a couple minutes, it starts again. And I'm like, Jesus.
I hate that.
Like, there's something down here, which freaks me out.
Well, yeah, like your bedroom is in a basement, which is worth mentioning. It's
right.
It's not just like it just like popped up in any room. It went to where mice, I feel like, belong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like a surprising place for it to be.
Yeah.
And we did know we had like a mouse in the garage. Mm-hmm. So it's not like totally surprising, but as I'm hearing this rustling and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to sleep. So I stayed up a little later even than what I wanted to. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, okay, I'm not really hearing it. Settle back in, fall asleep, wake up at like 5:30 in the morning, whenever it was that I texted you, because I was hearing more scuttling on the other side of the room, and it was louder and it just wouldn't stop. And I was like, I'm so freaked out. And if I try to fall asleep now, I'm going to have a nightmare. And that's not good. So
yeah.
I just was like, well, I'm not going to be able to sleep because it's being too noisy. So I guess I'm awake now. And I didn't have like traps or anything. And if my parents do have them, I don't know where they have them. And it was like 5 in the morning. So I wasn't about to like go try to figure that out.
Yeah, right.
I did consider putting clothes on and running to Walmart and like buying stuff and setting it up. But then I took a good hard look at myself and went, I barely have the energy to sit up in bed.
It's also like, it's like you could go up and sleep on the living room floor easier than you could get up and go out to Walmart and deal with this right now.
Right. Also, I had to pee.
Okay. This factored into the decision?
It factored into the decision because I haven't mentioned this. I fucking hate rodents. I do not like them. Mm-hmm. And I dislike them. So the first time I realized that I had a rodent issue, or like I don't like them.
Yeah, that's the right way to phrase it.
A rodent issue.
Rodent issue.
Like a personal rodent issue. Like my soul has a rodent issue.
Yeah, right.
I was living in a house in Pittsburgh, and I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast or not, but I was with my one roommate, Ryan, and our other roommate, his girlfriend, Sam, was out of the house, and my boyfriend at the time, Ian, was out of the house. And we hear rustling from the other room, and we're like, okay, that's weird. Like, did someone break in? Like, what's going on? So he and I go into the other room. He goes downstairs to check and see if there's an intruder. Doesn't see anything. Because we had like a direct door into our basement, so someone could have broken in that way. So then he comes back up. He leaves the room. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see a rat. Not a mouse, a fucking rat.
Ew.
Run across the room and down into the basement. And my reaction, now keep in mind, we thought there might be an intruder. And he leaves the room.
Which there was.
Yes, but like a human intruder.
Yeah.
He leaves the room, and then like as soon as he leaves the room, all he hears is me going, ah, and like no words, like no
God.
actual words, just like yelling.
Now, how fat was this rat?
Yelling. It was big.
It was a big fat rat.
It was big. It was like, I'd say its body was probably like this big, and then its
like
tail.
a 6-inch rat.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then
it
like
was
about
big.
that in tail.
So
as
like a
well.
foot long, including the tail,
It was a foot long rat.
including from little whiskies to tip of the tail.
I got to say, it's a big fat rat.
That was a big fat rat.
Yeah,
He was a big boy.
it's a big boy.
So that was when I was like, oh, I don't like rats. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's about how I feel about them. So I really had to pee when I woke up at like 5 a.m, but I was laying paralyzed in fear in bed. Like, I really don't want to get up because I hear it. I don't want to.
Could you not tell where the sound was coming from?
It was on the other side of the room, but it doesn't matter when you're afraid of it. But though I did turn the light on and it stopped rustling.
Yeah.
But I didn't know exactly where it was. I know it's not going to get me. It's just like, I don't wanna. Eventually, I got over it and I went upstairs and went to the bathroom and came back down and I folded laundry and put it away. That's what I did at 5 a.m.
The best part of this is that right now there is probably a dead mouse in a trap in your room right now. Because your mom texted to be like, I heard one of them go off, but she refuses to go look at it.
Yeah. So today, after work, so I did not tell my mom that there was a mouse in the house because I knew she'd freak out. So
Which she did.
So after work, I bought some traps and I came home and I was starting to set them up and she was about to come downstairs and I was like, I have to tell you something. Don't freak out. I knew she was going to freak out, but don't freak out. And I told her, I was like, I think there's a mouse down here. And she's like, oh no. She's more freaked out by this than I am.
Yeah.
And she's never had to deal with it before now. Okay. Miraculously. Like I have multiple times. So I hate it, but I've done it.
Sure.
So she is not happy, of course. So I am like picking stuff up off my floor so there's nothing it can get into. And then I got these traps. I put a little peanut buddy on them. Okay. That's probably pretty good. The trick is not too much peanut butter that it could just nibble it and not set the trap off. You want a little smudge of peanut butter.
Right, so it's got to work
that it has to make contact with the trap.
If it could just nab some, then it will.
Yeah. So
makes sense.
I set those up in the doorway, and then apparently they don't like cloves, so I threw like cloves all around my bedroom to try to drive it out of my bedroom.
You said cloves or clothes?
Cloves. Yes. Okay. I don't know if it likes my clothes or not. We haven't had a discussion.
Earlier you told me this, and I thought I heard you say, well, they hate the smell of clothes, so I put clothes all over my room. And I'm like, what is... They hate the smell of clothes?
I mean, you can't be blamed because clothes is also weird.
But then, like, what I pictured was you just scattered clothing everywhere and like, well, job done.
if that were the case, I would have just left my room the way it was.
That's actually what I thought you said. It's like, well, they hate clothes, so done.
If anything, I think they'd like it. It'd be nice and warm. They could make a little nest out of it.
Yeah, right. I figured they would love clothes, but then you said that, and I'm like, well, she's the expert. They don't like clothes.
Cloves.
Honestly, I just believed
You
whatever
just
you
went
said.
with it.
I just believed it.
Cloves.
Okay. Where the hell do you even buy cloves?
You have cloves.
What are you talking about?
Cloves. The spice.
Cloves. Oh, you mean like, no, I mean, like, I guess I have some ground clove, maybe?
You have cloves.
I don't have cloves.
Pretty sure you do.
I do
It's what
not
you
have
stick
cloves.
in a ham when you cook a ham.
I don't have no cloves.
You might have cloves.
I'm uncloved.
I'm going to check later.
I don't have cloves.
And I'm going to tell everyone if you do.
I don't have cloves.
But it's a spice. So my mom had them.
Okay.
So I threw those all around my bedroom.
Okay.
And
Makes
so my
way
mom
more sense.
My mom texted me. Also, the traps are really sensitive. So when you're setting them up, you set them off about like a billion times
Yeah, sure.
as you're setting them up. But these are just little mouse traps, so they don't hurt if you actually catch yourself. Like it kind of hurts, but it's not going to break anything. It's not like a bear trap.
Okay.
Not
But is
like
it really-
Charlie from It's Always Sunny.
Is it enough to kill a mouse if it doesn't break your finger? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Also,
stupid.
I wasn't sticking my finger on the pressure point and letting it snap my finger. I was like attempting to like set it up. So my fingers were kind of not in the direct impact area. They were to the side, so it was kind of catching me. Sometimes they were just like setting off and not touching me at all, but just like back flipping across the room. So I kept setting them off as I was trying to set them up. And my mom kept going, "Did you get one?" And I was like, "I'm setting the traps."
He's like, I'm in the room. Do you think they're gonna?
It was like, it's not going to come out when the lights are on. So after I left not too long ago, my mom texted and said she heard one of the traps go off. Because I told her, I was like, "Now, if you hear a trap go off when I'm not here, then I might have caught something." And she was like, "Well, I'm not checking." And I was like, "Okay." So
I don't
there
see why
might
not,
be
but okay.
a dead mouse in my room.
There might be.
And there it
is.
will remain
For like a day.
for several hours.
All right.
My stepdad will come home in the middle of the night
That's
at
true.
like
He'll probably-
3 or 4 in the morning, and
He'll
he
probably
will
check it.
I also had to tell her to make sure to tell him that I have sprinkled cloves all over my room, and that is not mouse poop,
Okay.
which is like way bigger than a mouse poop anyway. But I have a feeling that he would look around and be like, "There's a lot of poop, though."
I have some good news and some bad news.
Although I looked around, like I did a little check, and I did see what looked like a little bit of mouse poop, but that's exactly what I said to my mom. I was like, "There's good news and bad news. Bad moose.
Bad news.
Bad moose. There's some mouse poop, but not a lot of mouse poop." She's like, "Well, what does that mean?" And I was like, "It means there's one mouse versus many, basically, and that it hasn't been there very long."
Yeah.
Which it can't have been there more than a day.
I would think that is probably right.
Because if it were there Monday night, I would have heard it Monday night.
Yeah.
So I think it tried to get somewhere warm. So that's where we're at with the mouse issue.
That's where we're at. That is, it happens, I guess.
It does, and it's just like
It's the time of the year
it's
for
a
it.
field mouse. It's the wintertime. They're just trying to find somewhere to get warm.
Yeah.
It's not a rat. I can deal with a mouse better than I can deal with a rat.
Sure. It's probably fine. It's probably not chewing a hole in a wire right now.
You don't need to give us any other thing to worry about.
I know. Well, with any luck, it'll chew a hole in something and it'll fry its little brains out.
Yeah, and also set the house on fire.
Hey, who knows?
And then we get to claim insurance money.
Yay, everyone wins.
But then there's proof that we thought about that, and then they're going to think it's premeditated.
Plus, the rubble of your home will smell like delicious clove.
and roasted rat or roasted mice. Yay!
Like some kind of nightmare Thanksgiving in a post-apocalyptic
little mice hams.
Yeah. I want to introduce, or rather, offer up one quick thing before we move forward. Here is, I'm very excited. I talked to you about this a little bit, but the NASA InSight craft has landed on Mars. It landed on Monday, and it is super cool and really exciting. And it took years, for this thing to come together, and so now we have another spacecraft on Mars, which is really cool.
That's neat. You were telling me all about it because I did not know very much about it. And you were telling me how it has like a little probe thing that goes down into I was going to call it Earth.
Yeah.
into the Mars.
Into the Mars. It's got 6 of them, actually.
And
6
they
little probes.
hammer themselves in.
Yeah.
I'm imagining them like little cartoons. Like they
are not.
You said they're spring loaded. I'm just imagining they jump up and they have little faces and they just like pound down into the ground and they just keep doing that, but they make silly little faces while they do it.
They do that Yoshi's Island thing where they go like bring and then like.
Yeah, kind of, but I'm imagining their eyes are like real big when they go up and then they get real squinty when they hit the ground.
I have bad news. They are not cartoons.
I know, but just let me think of it that way.
Okay, you could do that, sure. I'm not stopping you.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
They're cool because
someone animate this.
They're cool because they're going to be figuring out a lot of things about the Martian, like soil and the interior of Mars. They have these.
It's like how many of the aliens living inside of Mars are named Marvin?
That will be a very interesting thing to find out. Obviously, the whole point.
I suspect all of them.
What I like about this spacecraft that's really interesting to me is that it had to find this good landing area without too many rocks so that it could set all of its instruments off of itself and then assemble them or whatever. It has to do all this stuff of setting down all of its work tools.
It's like me when I was trying to pull an all-nighter back in the college days. You gotta have room to set your books, your energy drinks, and your all of your other.
It's like a little hole in the middle of a mess in the middle of your living room.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I'm a probe on Mars.
Yeah, I guess in this case you're the InSight itself.
No, literally. What you're seeing is a hologram. I'm actually on Mars.
Well, I can see there's no reasoning with you.
You're just now figuring that out about me?
So yeah, InSight is cool. And
that is cool.
It's currently it sent back a picture today of its first view sort of from where it's because it sent back a picture when it landed straight down of the surface beneath it. And now it's finally sent back a daytime photo of the sort of horizon and where it's sitting, and it's cool stuff, and it's exciting for science.
Talk about the kinds of science it's gonna do to figure out things about Mars.
Well, I think the two big things are the thermal properties of Mars as you move down towards the inside of it. So they'll be measuring temperature. They'll also be measuring the rate of change between hot and cold, which will tell them things about the soil density and all that, which is cool.
And if there are any metals or how conductive.
Well, they want to know how warm the core is for one. They want to know we know quite a bit about Earth's core. We don't really know that much, I guess, about Mars's core. So by digging into it, we'll learn quite a bit.
Now, by saying that you know a lot about Earth's core, what you mean is that we know it's hollow, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And when you get to the middle of it, you just kind of float there.
Well, and then that's where the reptilians live, though.
Yeah, sure. But they all float inside the core of the Earth and drink delicious monatomic
We all
gold.
float on. That's what they say. It's Mighty Mouse. Modest Mouse. I always call them Mighty Mouse.
That classic band.
Oh, that classic band, Mighty Mouse. They're here to save the day.
So yeah, InSight's exciting. It's really exciting. I watched the landing, and there's this one moment that really kind of caught me, where there's this old dude. I don't know what the hell he does there. He's an older guy who works for JPL. He's not that old. He's probably, I don't know, he's probably in his 60s. But he's watching this telemetry data, you know, and there's no video or anything. They're just relying on like the numbers of like where the thing is. And you see his lip quiver just a little bit and he's like trying to keep it together. And I'm like, yeah, this is huge people spend years engineering these things and they can blow up in 7 minutes.
Yeah. I can imagine, like, if you spent a lot of time developing something, the moment when you start to receive data from it and it's working the way it's supposed to, and it landed perfectly, even though it wasn't where you planned for it to land, and everything is coming together, it has to be a great moment of just, like, kismet. Of just, like, feeling like everything worked. And in the world of science, that is not something that usually happens, and it's something you plan for. Like, you know you're going to have to do multiple trials. But this is a very specific part of science where you don't get that many shots because it takes so much money and time to create the thing, to create the mission, to put it all in place that, like, it has to work.
You put a hell of a lot of faith in calculations.
Yeah.
For one.
So I understand being emotional when like you're starting to get data back and being like, it's working. This thing is working.
It's also like it's doing the craft is doing a lot of its landing autonomously. Like there's very little human intervention, if any, once it gets that far out. So like the InSight had to use data from like 2 different satellites that are like watching it and communicating with it and like know where it is in relation to Mars. It has to do all this without someone telling it what to do.
Yeah.
Because it's far enough away that like you can't get commands to it in exactly real time. Like there's enough of a delay that you would be unable to do it.
Yeah, it's pretty smart.
Pretty smart. Pretty darn smart.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm really into it. I love space stuff.
I know you do.
So this is very obviously a very exciting time for what we might learn about Mars.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that bullshit.
I think I'm ready.
I think it's time to play that game.
I'm ready
that
for
one
the game that's sweeping the nation.
That game that no one ever found out about?
Shh, they all know.
All right.
They'll secretly play it when you're not watching.
You mean to tell me why you wouldn't happen to mean...
It's time for Truths and Flues.
Time to play Truths and Flues. Everyone's playing our famous game, the game that's taken the internet by storm.
It's time for Truths and Flues.
A Merv Griffin production.
Anyway, it is time for Truths and Flues.
Truths and Flues.
Our news quiz game in which I present to you two true stories, two false stories, one true story. Jeez, hope I did this right. What the fuck? I can't think. Okay. 2 false stories, 1 true story. You have to discern the true story from the false stories or the truths from the fnews.
All right.
Yeah. You ready?
Yes. So I am picking the true story.
Yes.
Guessing which one is the reals. For reals.
For reals.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Here we go. Story number 1. August Stork, the makers of Werther's Original, are experimenting with Werther's Next, a youth-branded caramel to counter their old man candy reputation.
Okay.
Sounds hip enough.
All right.
Number 2, video streaming service What's On fights streaming indecision with a new concept. It's just one live stream, and whatever's on is the only thing that's on.
All right.
And number 3, Burger King is unveiling the Dog Purr, a bone with Burger King's signature flame-broiled taste.
What's the name of that again?
The Dog Purr.
The Dog Purr?
Yes. As in the Whopper.
Oh, okay. I wasn't getting the purr ending. I was very confused.
You know, the Dog Purr.
I got it now.
And presumably the Dog Purr Jr.
This is for teeny tiny puppers.
Just for the little purse dogs. All right. So, those are your 3. You want to hear them again?
Yeah.
All right. Number 1, August Stork, makers of Werther's Original, are experimenting with Werther's Next, a youth-branded caramel, to counter their old man candy reputation. Number 2. Video streaming service What's On fights streaming indecision with a new concept. It's just one live stream, and whatever is on is the only thing that's on.
All right.
And number 3, Burger King unveils the Dog Purr, a bone with Burger King's signature flame-broiled taste.
So I wrote down number 1.
Yeah.
Werther's Next, not for old men.
Not for it's like Dr. Pepper. It's not for women. Whatever that was. The Dr. Pepper
Dr.
Ted.
Pepper Ted, yeah.
Dr. Pepper Ted. It's not for women.
Number
Weird
2,
idea.
What's On is on.
What's on is what's on.
Number 3, Dog Purr smells like a Whopper, tastes like dog food.
Might taste like a Whopper. I don't know. We'd have to find
We'd have to taste it,
obviously.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it has to be real.
Right.
So, I have a decision.
All right. What do you think it is?
I think, and here's my reasoning. I think I know a lot of people who would actually really like this. So I think number 2, the streaming service called What's On, I think that's real. I think it's just a stream playing stuff, and when you can't decide on things, you just go and you just watch what's on.
I busted you. I busted you because you know what?
It's a good idea.
Isn't it a good idea? We should invent it. We just did, I
It's
guess.
just regular TV.
The thing is, you sell
for
it,
people who don't have
you sell it for
cable.
nothing. You just have like an ad stream going to support it, and you just have one thing on.
Yeah.
Because how often do you spend a good half an hour of possible TV watching instead flipping through all the stuff you're not going to watch?
Now, are you thinking like every day, like all day, you just play one movie and you just loop it all day? Or are you thinking like you play different shows and different
stuff.
movies, but you just watch what's on?
Constantly shifting lineup, but there's one thing on.
At a
That's what
time.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this concept.
I think it's a good idea.
Okay, what is the real one?
The true story is
Story.
in limited markets and only with a DoorDash, the dog purr is available to people as a treat for their dogs.
We are probably not in that limited market, are
We
we?
are probably not. It didn't say specifically in the article I read.
We have DoorDash in this area.
But they didn't outline exactly, who had access to it. But they did, in fact, make a dog bone that is supposed to smell and taste like a Whopper.
I'm just saying, if it comes to the area, I'm gonna have to get my boba a little Whopper.
We might
a
just
little
have to-
Whopper dog purr.
Might have to check the DoorDash and just see if it's
To
available.
see, just to see.
Just
You never
curious.
know.
Yeah.
My dog demands Whopper flavored treats.
Yeah,
That spoiled asshole.
Yeah.
I would totally buy that for him.
I know he would. Or
And
you would.
You know what? This is a really genius idea.
The dog purr?
Yeah, because I would never consider getting Burger King delivered to my house. But if the only way to get this treat for my damn dog is
Yeah.
to have it delivered, of course I'm also going to get myself a little Whoppy Junie.
Right? Makes sense.
Geniuses.
If they just made it a little bit more well known that you could get it, I think
Yeah.
people would suddenly be ordering Burger King that otherwise wouldn't.
Geniuses.
Right?
All right.
What is that noise?
There's something metal on the ground, and I keep bumping it with my blanket.
Could it be a billion bottle caps courtesy of the Dude Cast? Because it is. That's what it is. I'm
Yes,
telling
in
you,
fact, that's what it is.
So anyway, yep, I busted you on this one. But
God damn it.
keep an eye out for what's on the Play Store because we'll totally make it. And subject ourselves to, legal action and
Yeah.
all that stuff, DMCA, pull downs, and all the good things.
Yeah. Because we're not going to do it the right way. We're not going to
No.
do licensing.
We're just going to
We're just gonna get
videotape
sued.
by TV.
We're just going to let them sue our pants off. Oh, that'd be so funny if it's just like really bad, like basically sitting in a theater filming, like bootleg.
Like a shaky
shit.
handycam.
Oh, that
Yeah.
would be hilarious. All right.
I would even, if the personality was right, I would even like watch someone else watch TV. If that
We do that.
If that person was interesting enough, do we do that?
Yeah, it's called Mystery Science Theater
Oh,
3000.
yeah, right, yeah. But like they don't have to be like, that engaging or clever. They just have to have like an interesting enough reaction to stuff every now and then.
All right.
I'd watch some guy just like a bearded big belly sort of
But
guy.
you don't get to see what he's watching. You just watch him.
No, you gotta have the over the shoulder.
No, I just want to watch.
I want to watch a guy like that just watch like RuPaul's Drag Race for like a day, and then just occasionally be like, "Whoa," and then like crack himself a new beer and be like, "I just don't believe it," and then I just watch that guy.
Give it one day, and that guy is going to be traipsing around his living room with his shorts pulled up, with his blanket around himself as like a cape, and like just like dancing around, doing the lip sync battle.
I wish I knew anything about this show so I could throw in a very specific catchphrase, but I don't.
Okay, hunty.
Is that a thing?
Yes, it's honey and cunt combined.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Huh. We're gonna have to keep an ear out for that.
That was some snaps.
Snip snap.
Yeah.
So anyway, that does it for the news quiz. Let's move on here quickly and talk. We don't have to talk long about it, but for the middle segment, I wanted to talk about the fact that you and I have both been watching this show, which is not a new show. It's a couple of years old now, actually.
Yeah, I'm just finally getting on the train.
It took us a while to come around to it, but it's Leah Remini's show, Scientology and the Aftermath. It's an A&E show. It is available on Hulu, and there are 2 whole seasons of it, with a third on the way, I think.
I hope so.
I think I read something about them being in talks to do, or maybe already producing a 3rd season.
So, also want to mention, we both had read her book.
Yeah, we did. Troublemaker.
Yeah, which was very, very good, and I recommend that.
Yeah,
we
it's a
might
very
have
good
talked
book.
about it on here.
I don't know if we did or not.
Can't remember.
If we did, it's been a while.
So after she wrote her book, when she first left Scientology, she wasn't necessarily planning on speaking out, but then just because of who she is and the way things happened,
Yeah.
they kind of made it impossible for her not to.
Yeah, I think so.
So she wrote her book, and then she was just going to call it at that. And then because she's a public figure and because she's been outspoken, people started coming to her with their stories.
Yeah, and due to the nature of the way that Scientology does people in, it kind of takes
And
like
the
a
way they
big
treat their
event.
critics.
Yeah, it takes like a really big event for people to speak out.
Yeah. And then basically she explains at the beginning of the show that someone who had left and her mom, who had also been in Scientology, like they took a picture of the mom holding Leah Remini's book. And she was like, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen with it, but can I get a crew together and come to your house and tape us having a conversation about Scientology? I feel like I need to record your stories.
Yeah.
And so she just kind of started doing it, and then got the interest later, like got people to pay for her to do it later, basically.
Yeah.
She's Leah Remini, so she has that let me just pay for a crew for a day money.
Oh, yeah. That sweet, sweet syndication King of Queens money.
Yeah.
And its follow-up, Kevin Can Wait, or whatever the heck it was called.
Yeah. So
That is what it's
I
called.
think
isn't it?
so. But what's their new show called? It's not that,
I
right?
thought that was it.
Because I think he had a different show for a while that she wasn't on.
Oh.
And now she's on it, or it's a different show. That basically they were like, oh, you guys had too much chemistry. You were too good together. So
Yeah.
we're just going to do this again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what's weird about it. Is it's like, hey, let's just do the same show kind of again.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, how different can it be?
And I like Leah Remini. At least in King of Queens, she wasn't acting. She's just being herself. I fully believe that's just her personality.
Yeah, I think
she's kind of a ball buster.
She's just a real sassy dame.
Yeah. And sorry, I pushed the table. I wasn't being aggressive. I was just trying to.
This is a power move.
Yeah.
You taking over this podcast now?
I'm gonna Leah Remini the shit out of it.
Just like push the whole table like 4 inches.
Sorry, I was
all right.
trying to adjust. Here,
That's all
I'll
right.
push it back. I got it.
Okay.
I'm so strong. Anyways.
What is happening?
I don't know.
All right.
I'm tired. I got like 3 hours of sleep.
True.
And then I drank an energy drink at work.
So let me say a thing about Scientology real quick. We have talked about it a little bit on the show. It has been mentioned in other episodes before.
Many episodes. Little tidbits.
Oftentimes when we talk about cults, it's almost impossible to ignore Scientology because Scientology is pretty famously one of the big baddies right now, at least in America,
They're
of cults.
really good at doing the things you need to do to get people to buy into it.
Yeah.
Like they are the perfect example of like how to manipulate someone and brainwash them into believing some really absurd things.
Yeah. I mean, they use techniques that are not unique or new to them, but they use them really, really well. And they run like they've sort of like franchised and assembly lined and streamlined like the process of a bigger and bigger asks, you know, and like just getting people to say yes to more and more and more until it's too late.
It starts with identifying people's weaknesses, not even actually things that doesn't even actually have to be their real weakness, just something that they think is a problem for them.
Yeah.
And then love bombing the shit out of them and going, you know, you're awesome. You're really great. You have these issues, but like we have the tools to fix that. And we love you. And like you're part of our family now. So we're going to figure that out. Just like pay for this course and we'll start the progress. Like you're going to be so much better. And these are all the great things that we're doing as a group. And you'll be a part of that.
Yeah.
And blah, 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 blah. And before you know it, you're in it and you can't see a way out of it.
There's one really, really interesting episode, which you might have already seen, where they get basically one of the sales guys in to talk about, we would prototype like your buyer persona before you even meet a salesperson.
I don't think I've seen that episode.
It's very interesting.
Not all of it.
Because they say like, okay, well, you know, based on information they have gathered, it's like, oh, if we determine that you're like, he's saying, we determine that you are the kind of person who feels vulnerable and you're here because you feel vulnerable, then, and you're a woman, then maybe we'd have like a strong man sales associate be the one that talks to you. You know, like we'd like try to, or if you're the kind of buyer that only buys when they feel like they're getting a bargain, then we'd artificially inflate all these prices, but show you how you are getting the discount. Like they had a strategy for everything before they even meet a person because they've already gathered enough information on them.
I also remember them talking to an auditor, which in Scientology, they have something called an e-meter. It's kind of like a lie detector test. And this is how they basically, it's kind of like therapy. It's like a form of therapy where you hold
like evil therapy.
You hold these cans and not those cans. These cans aren't lie detectors, I'll tell you that.
I'm sorry, you said hold these cans.
Hold these cans.
And I went blank. Anyway.
So you hold on to the e-meter and the cans.
Yeah.
And you're getting asked questions and you're answering them. The person asking the questions is the auditor. And based on what the e-meter says your reactions are, they'll ask you more questions about that. And basically they want to get you to the point where the needle floats, where you don't have a reaction to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, to me, this always just felt like you're just trying to get people to not feel emotions, which is weird. And why do we think that that's good? But anyways,
to have no emotional state is not necessarily the
healthiest state. It's a whole part of the cult thing, though. Right. To make you question your emotions and their validity and your thoughts and feelings. And anytime there's a problem, it's pointed back at you as being the cause of it. You pulled it in. It's one of the many things that cults do.
Yeah.
But where was I going with that? Something about auditing. But
they
I
had an
forget
auditor
why.
on.
Oh, so he was one of the big auditors.
Yeah.
In the church before he left. And he was talking about some of the tactics they would use to sell courses. and how like sometimes they would pull him up. Like if someone was trying to sell someone a course, they would be like, hey, like come talk to this person and tell them how this specific course is really going to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And the person would be like, essentially, this is like a therapist. Like this is a person I really trust.
Yeah, they're led to feel like he's objective.
Wouldn't lie to me. Yeah, he's objective about this. But he's like, no, I'm not. I'm trying to sell you the course too.
Yeah.
Like that's a part of the job.
Everyone's a salesperson in Scientology.
Yeah. And then there was also a scene in that, I think, same episode where they showed like people being trained to sell the courses and being told like people are going to say they don't have the money, but they have the money.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the tactics you're going to do to find the money.
Yeah.
And there's a guy, last name Ebner, I think was on the same episode.
Oh, yeah.
Actually went undercover in Scientology and sat there while they coached him while on the phone with his credit card company.
Yeah.
And the things they were telling him to say got him a higher cap.
Yeah, like they raised his credit limit.
Like $10,000.
So that he could buy Scientology shit.
Yeah, which he, at that point, was like, I need to think about it. And
Right.
he didn't do it. But he was like, holy shit. Like, they're good at it.
Yeah.
This is what they do. There's so many interesting episodes of the show. The basic premise is it's an interview show.
Mm-hmm. Finding people who left.
A lot of it is people who left, especially the first season is mostly people who left.
Second season too, quite a bit of it.
Yes, but also a combination of people who left and people who've been targeted by Scientology because they were investigating Scientology.
Right.
And which that's how I learned about Scientology. I was like kind of a searcher. And so I just was like, I don't know really anything about Scientology. I wonder what that's about. So I Googled it. And what I found. And a lot of the stuff, the videos I watched and things I found were from people like Mark Bunker and some former Scientologists like Tori Magoo.
Yeah, right.
That's not her real name, but that was her name on YouTube. And she had a really great YouTube channel about her experiences. God, last name, I think his name is Steve Hassan. He's a cult deprogrammer who's worked with Scientologists.
Yeah.
I've talked about him before on here because I think he's an amazing person. He was in the Moonies.
Yeah. He's fantastic. And he's like just a sweet guy, too.
He's very sweet. And he is on an episode of this show and basically breaks down crying.
Yeah.
Because he was like.
Everybody does on the show because it's so devastating.
Yeah. And he told Rinder.
Yeah.
Who is a former Scientologist who basically was like an enforcer of the policies that basically say that it's called fair game, but basically it means if there's a critic of Scientology, they are an enemy and you can do anything to crush them and you should crush them.
Yeah, like destroy their lives. Like not even crush their story, not even fight their story. Get them arrested, get them fired.
Or get them to kill themselves.
They're... I don't want to talk too much about the show or too specific because I think that people should see some of this for themselves.
It's horrifying and it's a little on the outset. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. Some of the things that they say, this organization that claims it is a church and is tax exempt.
Yeah, like the most baffling part of all of it is that. They keep operating without paying taxes.
If there weren't so many people saying the same things, and if there wasn't really good evidence, it would sound really paranoid. But that's what cults do.
Sure.
That's what cults are. It sounds crazy until you realize it's real.
Yeah.
It's my worst nightmare.
I think a lot of people underestimate the power of just lying harder and harder with more and more confidence. I don't think people realize exactly how much you can get away with if you just lie with a straight face.
And
that's what they do.
People underestimate the power and the influence of someone who is a narcissist. Like we've seen cult leaders, a lot of times they are sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissists, but we don't always see it quite the way, like for as long a span of time as we have with Scientology. And L. Ron Hubbard was a narcissist for sure. The way he responds, the way he wrote his policies, the policies he wrote, the way he says to handle things is exactly how someone who's a narcissist would handle someone criticizing them.
If you just take him at his own words and instructions, he's a narcissist.
I've been on the receiving end of that treatment from a narcissist, and it sucks. It's not good. And now if you can imagine someone instructing a group of people to do this on a pretty large scale, it's crazy.
Now, I want to wrap up on this and move on to the main segment here after our break, but I want to say one more thing.
All right.
This is my Oprah's The Secret moment, right? Or whatever. Like, I'm putting it out into the universe, right? This is me putting it out there and hoping it finds its way to me.
Okay.
I want an e-meter.
Okay.
I want one pretty badly because I was reading about them, and there's apparently, like, they're really well engineered inside, even though they don't really do anything, right? Even though they're kind of stupid. They're actually very carefully put together, and there's a guy that took one apart and was looking at all the components and things. It's like a well-engineered device that does nothing useful, right? And Scientologists are not allowed to sell them. And buying a new one is like $5,000. But people do auction them. So I'm putting it out there. Someday I may go out and just try to get one. But I want an e-meter.
I'm going to tell you it's possible.
Yes.
Because Ono, Ross, and Carrie has at least one.
Yeah.
They have one, and I think they borrowed one from someone else. Or maybe they have multiple.
Yeah.
I know someone gave them one.
Right.
We do not have the reach that they have. But if somehow someone has one and you want to slip it our way.
This is me saying, throwing it out into the internet. Let's talk. I will buy an e-meter off of you for what we agree is a fair price.
An e-meter. No, I would be interested in that too, actually. I've thought about that a bit.
Just because I feel like this podcast studio really deserves to have one in it. And I don't know.
What if we recorded every episode on the cans?
Yeah. What do you mean, like while
one of us holding the cans?
We could do a personalized audit as an episode. How weird would that be?
We could get the material.
So, anyways, that's I think it's safe to say we both recommend watch that show.
It's really good.
It's hard to watch. It's sad.
It is very sad. It's not unlike the podcast Surviving Scientology. It does the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just it's not by the same people. And one more thing I wanted to mention, which was a direct result of the show not Inside Scientology, Scientology in the Aftermath.
Yeah, that's it.
There's so many things. I get them all confused. But there is now an organization called the Aftermath Foundation. It's founded by Mark Rinder and maybe Leah Remini, maybe some other people.
Did they talk about this on the show yet?
I'm not sure if I did or not. I might have.
I don't remember hearing about this.
I told you about it because it was, on Facebook you could set up a birthday fundraiser.
Oh, yeah.
It was the fundraiser I asked people to donate to.
That's right.
But it is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping people who leave Scientology. Because often when people leave, they don't have an education. They don't have work experience outside of Scientology. They don't have savings because all their money went to the church if they were getting paid at much. No support system. If they are leaving, and a lot of times they're leaving not on great terms because that's the only way you can get out sometimes. You get disconnected from your family. They're not allowed to talk to you if they remain in the church. So you don't know anyone. So this is a really great organization set up to help them with those hurdles, get them on their feet, help them find jobs and places to stay and support, which I just think is super important. And it's great that I know they've mentioned it on the show multiple times. They just get frustrated that, sure, they're exposing Scientology, but they feel like there should be more that they can do. And I think this is one of the things they decided they could do to help people that are leaving. So I think that's really awesome, and I'm a supporter of them. Yeah. And you should be too, if it's something you care about. So
right. Which, if you listen to this show, there's a chance you care about that kind of
That's
thing.
the Aftermath Foundation. Do you want to take
Yes.
a little tiny break?
Let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll come back with the main segment for this episode.
All right.
Stick
Dead
around.
air. And we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Do you want to introduce the episode?
You do it.
You remember what you assigned me?
I do.
Okay.
But you do it.
All right.
I mean, I also figured, like, this one you could have... There's a lot. Right, exactly.
It's a dense episode.
I figure you should introduce it because you know which directions you took this in.
All of the directions.
Every direction.
All of the every directions. Because today we are discussing a very dense topic. Numerology.
And dense it is.
Yes. Numerology is the branch of knowledge that deals with the occult significance of numbers. This includes things like your birth date and that number's influence on your life, and the significance of the numerical value of the letters in words, names, and ideas.
Right.
It's associated with the paranormal alongside astrology and similar divinatory arts.
Yeah. You can really fall in on numbers. I've known a lot of people to become obsessed with particular numbers.
I used to know people who played the lottery, and if they happened to notice a certain number popping up every now and then, they would be sure to play that number, but also they had a whole rotating system of what numbers they would play. Yeah. Whether it's something like that, if you put a significance on that, or you play certain numbers because of their meanings, and the numerology of them. That's a thing. Like, there's so many ways to apply this and to discuss it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to dive in. I used a lot of Wikipedia, but I used a couple other sites that I'll mention as they come up. But
okay.
Numerology is vast, and there are several systems.
Yes.
That's how I started with this. One system is alphabetic systems. Basically, they assign a numerical value to letters of the alphabet. One of the most straightforward ones is the Latin system. That's our alphabet. You have the numbers 1 through 9, and then you assign each letter a number based on that. So basically, you hit 9, and then you cycle back through. A is the number 1. I is the number 9, and then J is the number 1, because it starts back at 1.
Is 0 in the mix?
No, it's 1 through 9.
Weird.
So, once you do that, you say you have a word, you assign each letter of the word its corresponding number, and then you add them together until you keep adding until it's a single digit.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 9, and then you can look at the meaning of that number. There are also, I used Wiki for this. There are different methods of interpretation. There's a Chaldean method, Pythagorean method, Hebraic method, Helen Hitchcock's method, phonetic, Japanese, Arabic, and Indian. It's like a lot. Wow. And then it was like the way I just described how to get to this number associated with a word, I think is the simplest way, but then they're like, there are simpler mathematical ways to do this, and it went into it, and I was like, whoa, boy, that's over my head.
Right.
So, if you like math and numbers, and also you like to believe in things that aren't necessarily true, Those don't necessarily go hand in hand.
Okay.
But if you like that, you will love numerology.
It sounds like what you're hitting on here is something that I kind of like. One thing I'm familiar with about numerology is that there's like it becomes confusing and elaborate because of the sort of like fundamental mismatched nature of trying to assign numbers to alphabetical characters or numbers to like adding numbers up. I
think what makes it super confusing is the fact that there's so many ways to interpret it.
Yeah.
It's just like horoscopes and astrology.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
I think the methods behind like how you do it, because there's so many different ways to interpret, means there's also so many different ways to get there.
Yeah.
And then the methods were just, some of them were mathematical, and it's just like looking at it on Wikipedia just like wasn't sinking in, and it was really complex. And I'm like, this is way too much. Then it's more than what I could figure out and discuss on the episode. But just know they exist, and you can look at them if you want to.
Well, it's interesting because it's an interpretive exercise.
Yeah.
Based on trying to essentially, read tea leaves out of like information.
It's an interesting like subsect of like people who really like numbers and math, and maybe are like a little more logical, but also like want to interpret things from it, like want to understand things about themselves.
Yeah.
Based on that, it's kind of unique.
It's trying to take one kind of information and like weirdly transcribe it over a different set of available, like signifiers for information, right?
Yeah. Again, it's not that different from like a horoscope where it takes the month you were born.
Yeah.
And gives you a personality based on that.
Sure.
It's like two things that have nothing to do with each other, presumably, and you're like, all right, this is who I am.
Yeah.
But David, do you want to know your name's number?
Sure.
So D is the number 4, A is 1, V is 4, I is 9, and D is 4. So you add those together, you get 22. But I don't have a description for 22. So I'm going to add the 2 and the 2, and then I got 4.
Okay, so my number is 4.
You're 4. So we're using that method. You're 4.
Okay.
We'll discuss what that means in a little bit, because like I said, there's a bunch of ways to interpret this. So I want to talk about all that before we like go into interpretations.
Okay.
Mine is K is 2, R is 9, I is 9, S is 1, T is 2, and Y is 7, which is 30. 3 plus 0 equals 3.
Okay.
So I'm 3 and you're 4.
Interesting. Now the assumption is that you can determine something based on this.
Yes, that each number has a meaning or traits or characteristics, just like each month, each horoscope or zodiac sign has different traits associated with it. So do the numbers.
Now, right on the outset, one thing that we can observe that is interesting and kind of silly is that I go by Dave or David, and I bet I would get totally different numbers if I was to run those both through. So, adding to the interpretive nature of this, people often go by, shortened names. So, like, how can we reconcile that against the interpretive nature of this?
I also considered doing, like, our full names, and, like, I decided just to keep it kind of simple, but that's, again, so many ways to interpret it. Yeah. So many ways that it can be kind of altered.
Yeah.
So there we are. We'll get back to what they mean. Another alphabetic method is the Abjad method. This is where each letter of the Arabic alphabet has numerical value. I don't know Arabic, so I didn't really write that down.
That's all right.
There's also Chinese. I want to talk about Chinese numerology, which is another system altogether. Even numbers are generally considered lucky because they believe that good luck comes in pairs.
Okay.
In traditional Chinese medicine and associated fields like acupuncture, they base the system on mystical numerical associations. Like the 12 vessels circulating blood and air are based on the 12 rivers flowing toward the central kingdom. And the 365 parts of the body is one for each day of the year. That's the basis of locating acupuncture points. So they kind of have this like an interpretive system of like, we're going to say there's 365 parts of the body because each one's going to represent a day of the year.
I was going to say, like, my eyes could have perked up because it's like, I think there's more bones than that, right?
Yeah, but you're not going to stick a needle in a bone. It's like regions of the body kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And so let's talk about some Chinese numerology definitions.
Okay.
The number 1 is sure. The number 2 is easy. The number 3 is live, or a halved 8, which is unlucky if you think of it as if you're looking at the number 3 in like the way we write it.
Yeah.
The number 4 is unlucky. It's a homophone for death or suffering. But in Shanghainese, it's a homophone for water, which is lucky because water is associated with money. Again, this is depending on what system, what language you're talking about.
Yeah.
Number 5 is the self, me, my, nothing, or never. In Shanghainese, it's a homophone for fish. Don't know what that means.
Oh, boy.
Number 6 is easy and smooth, or all the way. Number 7 is slang or vulgar word in Cantonese. Number 8
do we know what vulgar word?
No, there was a link on Wikipedia.
Okay.
I forget what it was. I did follow it just to see. I forget what it was, though.
Okay.
Number 8 is sudden fortune or prosperity. Number 9 is long in time or enough. That's also a slang or vulgar word derived from the word dog in Cantonese. Everything is vulgar in Cantonese, is what I've learned.
All right.
Some particularly lucky numbers in Chinese numerology are 99, which means like doubly long or eternal. Also 168, it didn't mention why it was lucky, just that it is a lucky number, and there are a lot of phone numbers that start with 168 in China.
Interesting.
Also 888. So if we remember, 8 is prosperity.
Yeah.
So basically 888 means wealthy, wealthy, wealthy. So it's very lucky. Now I'm going to skip a little bit to the Indian numerology system, which is really similar to that Latin system I talked about, except the numbers don't go to 9, they go to 8. So you apply them to the alphabet in using the same kind of idea, but it doesn't go to 9.
And anything not base 10 freaks me out. Is that are you the same way with this? I think it's a primal. It's like I have 10 fingers and I just can't comprehend counting to 8s.
Well, a lot of things in our life are base 10, so it is a little weird. So you do this the same way. So using this system, your number is 7, which is a slang or vulgar word in Cantonese. Congratulations.
Wait, really?
That was what I said. 7 was.
7. Yeah. Okay.
And my number is 4.
So you take on my number in the Indian version of this.
Let's use some of these interpretations now.
Okay. This is fun already.
Right? I thought it was really fun.
This is like weird number tarot.
To look at what these numbers mean. So your first number using the Latin system was 4. So the traits associated with the number 4, according to this chart, is dependable, detail-oriented, predictable, practical, manager, problem solver, trustworthy, and worrisome. The number 3 was mine, which is creative, communicator, energetic, inventive, bouncy, artistic, broad-minded, imaginative, and scattered.
Okay.
It seems like there's a lot of different words that mean a lot of different things.
Yeah, they really do. It's a lot of traits.
So I also had the number 4 using the Indian numerology method. So that was the dependable, detail-oriented, predictable, practical, manager, problem solver, trustworthy, and worrisome. And then you had the number 7, which is perfectionist, pious, careful, tolerant, thorough, introvert, spiritual, studious, diligent, obsessive. And then using the Chinese definitions, the number 4 is unlucky. So you and I both have that depending on which interpretation method we use. Because it's a homophone for death or suffering. But if we were speaking Shanghainese, it could be lucky because of water being associated with money because it's a homophone for water.
Or it means a dog's anus in Cantonese, I think.
That is number 9, which neither of us had. But number 7 is that vulgar word in Cantonese. So that's one of yours. So good job.
So what you're telling me is...
Everything's vulgar in Cantonese.
Yeah, sure. Gotcha.
That's where we're landing on this.
Everything's a curse word in Cantonese.
Yes.
All right.
So that was names.
Yeah, that's an interesting exercise.
Yeah, I like that. It's fun. It's the same reason I like tarot cards, though.
Yeah, right. Well, it's like I tried doing the thing in my head where it's like, okay, I'm listening to yours and mine, and can I interpret them both for me?
Of course.
Exactly how universal are they?
Of course.
And the answer is yeah. I mean, I think the only one of mine that really didn't resonate for me was all that business about being spiritual and all that,
all that gobbledygook.
Yeah, that was the only thing where I'm like, nah, I don't see it.
But I think a lot of people who are maybe less atheist and skeptical than us
Which is
do
most people,
resonate
probably.
with that, because a lot of people, even if they're not religious, they would say in some ways they're spiritual.
Yeah, it's a broadly popular trait.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is our life path number.
Life path number, huh?
Which is a fancy way of saying you take your full birth date and you add it all together.
Okay.
And that's your life path number. And it can direct your life and tell you what to expect and the kind of person that you are.
Now, this is one that wouldn't vary by alphabet because you're dealing strictly with numbers.
So mine is 11/02/1987.
Uh-huh.
So that means my number, that is 29. So then I add the 2 and the 9 together and I get 11, which I might just keep it at 11, or if I keep adding, it's 2.
Okay.
Now, in this system that I found, which is from Gaia.com, Gaia.
Okay. Shout out to Gaia.
They mentioned a couple master numbers. 11 was one of them and 22 was one of them.
Okay.
So if I stopped adding, I could just keep it at 11, and that's one of the master numbers.
Okay.
Or if I kept it going, I get 2.
Sure.
So I'm going to talk about what both of those mean. I don't know if you want me to say your full birth date or not.
Oh,
but
yeah, sure. I don't care. Give them my social, too.
And I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, do we want to say birthdays? It's just like one more piece of information they don't have to work hard for. It's on Facebook.
If someone wants my identity, they can have it.
January, just take it.
Please.
January 19th, 1987. And when you boil that down, you get the number 9.
Oh, okay. Number 9. So
they have information about like what each of these numbers means. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 11 and 22.
Okay.
I was just really going to talk about the ones that apply to us, but if there's any that I'll just say like what the base description is of the other ones, and if you want to know more, I could read more.
Okay.
1 is the father. 2 is the mother, and that's one of my numbers, so I'll talk about that in more detail in a minute. 3 is the talented child. 4 is the organizer. 5 is free spirit. 6 is caregiver. 7's philosopher. 8 is the professional. 9 is the humanitarian, which is yours. 11 is the energetic visionary, which is also mine. And 22 is the master builder.
Okay.
So, number 2, which is one of mine, is the mother. It's a feminine number. It is a number of power and strength, but is often underestimated. It belongs to artists. It's gentle, understanding, diplomatic, a natural born peacekeeper, ultimate survivor, resilient, also represents servitude and strength.
Okay. Interesting.
Now, number 11, the energetic visionary, one of these master numbers,
Yeah.
is
The master numbers. Sounds special.
right. You're the most intuitive. You have an innate understanding of others, similar to twos, but more amplified. Dedicated, loyal, likely to marry young. That didn't work out. And you form deep relationships easily. There are parts of that I'd say resonate, and there are parts of that I'd say don't. Obviously, I didn't marry young, and I don't feel like I form deep relationships easily. I feel like,
Really?
yeah, I feel like I make acquaintances really easy,
Okay.
but forming really deep relationships, it takes me a lot longer.
Okay. Yeah, that's I guess I could see that. Takes you
But
time.
I would say, like, I am dedicated and loyal. I would consider myself intuitive, but not in necessarily like the spiritual kind of woo kind of way, but
Yeah.
more in like a
You read
I'm
people.
good at reading people kind of
Yeah.
way.
I think that's accurate about you.
I think it comes from being a person who has been taken advantage of because they tend to be nice.
Yeah,
And you learn to read people quickly when you get sick of being taken advantage of.
Both of us have been suckers enough times to be
Right.
like, no way.
You either learn or you just keep getting stepped on your whole life. So
Probably half the reason that we're kind of skeptical people
Yeah.
to this point in our lives, right?
yeah, it sucks to feel like you don't trust people,
Yeah.
but also it's necessary to like be good to yourself and protect yourself.
In the immortal words of the Who, we won't get fooled again.
Yeah, and then I flip my sunglasses down.
I wish we could just put music in this podcast because that'd be a great time to just drop that in.
So let's consider those descriptions and go back to, let's apply them to what our numbers were for our names.
Okay.
So your first name number was number 4,
Yeah.
which would mean you're the organizer, or number 7, which would mean you're the philosopher.
Okay.
Mine was number 3 or number 4, so I'd be the organizer or the talented child. So it's like depending on like what description are you using of the number, where are they getting the information for where these traits come from?
Yeah.
Anything, and they're all so vague, and like
Yeah.
we said, there's going to be a couple hits and a couple things that don't with every single one. It's kind of like cold reading. You just kind of
Yes.
throw some general info out there and see what hits, and you remember the hits more than you remember the misses.
I guess the one thing I'm curious about is like, who is the arbiter of what these numbers mean? Like, how does anyone arrive at, well, this is what a 4 means?
I think there's so many reasons that
People just
so
smoke a
many
bunch of
ways.
hash and write things down?
I don't know exactly where the different ideas of what each number means comes from.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the ones from Gaia.com for the number 2, which is the mother, I said it stands for servitude and strength.
All right.
One of the reasons that they say it stands for servitude is what the digit 2 looks like. Is that it kind of looks like a person on their knees.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
it could be something as graphic as just like, what does it look like?
Yeah, like a
What does it
pictographic-
visually represent?
Wow.
So that's kind of an insight into that. So yeah, I think this stuff is fun.
Let's do one as a fun exercise. Let's just
Okay.
go with 4. What does 4 mean to us?
My first thought is like someone raising their arms. Like,
Okay.
So I kind of want to be like in frustration, but if I were doing this earnestly, I would say like raising their arms like in praise, like open up to a higher power.
That makes sense. I could see it as a cup. I could
Yeah.
see it as a cup, and so maybe like a 4 is like a wine chalice,
Okay.
and so it means some kind of like luxury or
Or like you're open to being fulfilled, or like you're open to things,
Yeah.
open-minded.
That's
it's so easy to do.
That's the thing.
So easy to do.
That's why I wanted to do this. Is
Yes.
be like, okay, if we just decided that we're numerology geniuses now, I'm like, okay, well, 3. 3 is like a sideways booty.
It represents roller derby.
It represents booties of the world.
Yeah.
And the various booty-like qualities of our universe.
Booty, 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 booty.
You could just do this.
Yeah.
And
this
obviously
is the
people do.
same reason like I said, I love tarot cards. I have several decks, and I'm not spiritual. I don't
Right.
really believe in it, but it's so fun. And it's also like every deck I've ever had, when you read the book that comes with it, they're like, a lot of them encourage you to look at the pictures, especially if it's like a fancy deck that's not traditional,
Yeah.
to look at the pictures and don't necessarily follow the book and what the description of the card says literally.
Yeah.
You can go based off of what the card looks like to you, what it feels like to you. And I'm like, yeah, you're just like making it all up, man. I love it. It's like, as someone who always enjoyed like writing and creative stuff like that, it's a super fun game.
Yeah, it is. What I like about that too is that it opens people up to, because of the nature of like a tarot reading, where even people who don't believe that kind of thing are still going like, okay, well, let's just see how much this just matches up with what I'm already coming into here thinking about.
Yeah, and I like to practice my cold reading technique sometimes.
Yeah, sure. In case you ever need to start a cult in the future, you just need to know that you can do it.
I just think it's a fun thing to do, because if you ever need to like, if someone's like, whoa, so-and-so psychic, you could be like, yeah, buddy, watch this. Anyone can do this.
It's a parlor trick, which are
Yeah.
entertaining by nature.
Yeah. We're going to switch gears a little bit. We're not done yet, but we're just switching it up because you wanted to know specifically about the number 13.
Right. Number 13 was on the list as part of the entry.
Yes.
You know, it's like it's a universally spooky number, isn't it? Or at least it applies to our culture.
Well, I'll talk all about that.
Okay.
So according to spiritualunite.com, or I don't know if you would pronounce it unity, but it's spelled UNITE.
Okay.
The numerological meaning of the number 13 is pragmatism. Can be creative, but it's more important to them to be practical, determined and persistent, and people who identify with the number 13 are realists.
Okay.
We're 13s. We could be 13s.
Sure.
I do have the number 13 tattooed on my body.
True.
But that was for Friday the 13th. There are many folkloric aspects to this number in many cultures. And one theory is due to like lunar solar calendars. There are 12.41 lunations per solar year. So there would be 12 true months and then a smaller 13th month.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Now let's talk about the number 13 in mathematics. Some of this goes over my head. I'm going to do my best to explain the things I understand, but I'm putting it out there because I think we have some listeners who are into math and will enjoy this and will know what I'm talking about better than I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, someone out there must understand this math better than we do.
So the number 13 is the 6th prime number. It is the smallest EMERP, which is prime backwards, which is a prime that is a different prime number when the digits are reversed. So 13 is a prime and 31 is also a prime.
Oh, that's fun. I never heard the word emer.
Yeah, I thought that was really cute. When I realized what it was, I was like, oh.
That's great.
It's one of only 3 known Wilson primes. I did look up what that meant, but I forget now. It's a Fibonacci number.
Yeah,
It's a happy number. A happy number.
I was going to say, hold on.
I'm explaining. It's when I saw these, some of them I was like, okay, did you just like it? Is that why you're calling it happy? And then realize it was actually a mathematical thing.
Okay.
If you replace a number by the sum of squares of its digits in base 10, and then repeat until the number equals 1 or loops endlessly. If it ends in 1, it's a happy number. So I don't really get it, but it's a happy number.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's over my head. I'll be honest.
It is the third centered square number. Don't know what that means. It's a lucky number, which means it is equal to the sum of squares of the digits of its own square in bases 4 and 83. That's over my head, but it's a lucky number.
Yeah, I think I can vaguely understand what that means, but I don't really get the significance.
Right. You square some stuff, you add some stuff, it's equal to some things. Good, great, fantastic.
What I'm really curious about is what is the significance of base 4 and base 83 of all weird
So
numbers?
A lot of these things, I basically chalked it up to this is math people having fun mathing.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, oh, these two things are the same thing. Oh, this is a pattern that some numbers have. We're going to call them lucky numbers.
I see, yeah.
There are 13 Archimedean solids. I don't know what those are, but that's a thing.
Okay.
A standard torus can be sliced into 13 pieces using 3 plane cuts. Sorry, I'm like trying to see my notes. The dog is headbutting me, and my mic is in the way. A lot of troubles right now.
Yeah.
This is my favorite. There are 13 different ways for the 3 fastest horses in a horse race to finish, allowing for ties. So these were all just like things that are mathematical and include the number 13.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny.
Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh.
13 possible ways for that to work
2 of them
out.
tie, the other 2 tie, and then all 3 tie, and then 1 wins and the other. Yeah, I kind of get. Yeah.
So,
right.
switch gears again. Still talking about the number 13?
Yeah.
Let's talk about how it relates to some religions.
Okay. What you got?
In Islam, in Shia Islam, the number 13 signifies the 13th day of the month of Rajab, which is the lunar calendar. And that's the birth of Imam Ali. It also represents 1 prophet plus 12 imams.
Okay.
Which is similar to in Christianity, 12 apostles and Jesus. Obviously, in Islam, they don't think of Jesus as he's not the son of God. He is maybe a prophet. He's not their prophet.
Yeah, they're kind of like hand waving on him. They're like, I don't know.
They're like, yeah, he was there. He was a prophet. He's not the prophet.
Right. Seems like there were a lot of prophets floating around.
Yeah. In Roman Catholicism, apparently at some point, someone had experienced apparitions of the Virgin of Fatima. It was in 1917, and they supposedly occurred on the 13th day of 6 consecutive months.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Douglas.
Douglas!
Also, St. Anthony of Padua, his feast day was June 13th. And one of the ways that they celebrate is it's called the 13 Tuesdays of St. Anthony.
Okay.
So he's represented by the number 13.
Interesting.
In Judaism, the age 13 is the age at which a boy becomes mature. That's when he has his bar mitzvah. Mm-hmm. Also, the number of principles of 13 is the number of principles of Jewish faith according to Maimonides. And according to rabbinic commentary on the Torah, God has 13 attributes of mercy. Don't know what those things mean specifically, but it's the number 13 in Judaism.
There is this interesting thing of like especially numerology is closely associated with religion a lot of the time. I think a lot of these like old mystic types were like very interested in numerology and significance of numbers. And in fact, I remember hearing that like Pythagoras's like contemporaries, the people that were like interested in Pythagoras and math were like a math cult. Like it was actually pretty legit.
Well, I said one of the one of the ways of interpretation at the beginning was like the Pythagorean method.
Yeah.
He was real into like, people were real into numbers in a weird way.
Yeah. And there's like all this like stuff like sacred geometry and things where like all the old mystic types were.
That's a topic
They're fascinated
on
with
our list.
Yeah, that's right. It is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overlap between religion and math.
Yeah. There's overlap between a lot of things you wouldn't expect.
Right.
So in Zoroastrianism, the number 13 is considered sinister. This is the first one I was able to find, like, oh, they think it's bad. Because the 13th day of each new Iranian year is called Sizda Bedar. And they consider it a day when evil's power might cause difficulties. I don't know why they specifically believe that, but it's part of their beliefs that you're open up to some potential problems on that day. So what people do is they leave more urban areas on the 13th day of the year, and they go out to less populated, more country areas. They basically camp out for the day. Try to avoid issues by avoiding people, which sounds fantastic. Let's do it every day.
That should be like the 13th day of every single month.
Yes. Let's just say it's all 13s and do it every day. So my next heading was unlucky.
Yeah.
So first let's talk about the word triskaidekaphobia, which is the fear of the number 13.
I did not know there was a name for that.
Yes.
But there's a name for everything, isn't there?
Yes. And there are obviously people who avoid the number 13. They're superstitious about it. So much so that we've all seen instances where like hotels and other tall buildings skip the 13th floor.
Yeah.
I think I might have mentioned it on the podcast before where I was ranting and saying, just because you skip it doesn't mean it's not there. And we all know that the 14th floor is the 13th floor.
Yeah, that was an old Mitch Hedberg joke.
Yes.
People on the 14th floor know what floor they're really on.
Yes, exactly. But Friday the 13th is considered an unlucky day. So why?
Yes.
There's a lot of theories. None are necessarily completely satisfying or really do a good job of completely explaining it. But here's some of them. The Last Supper. There were 13 people. Oh, did I mention? Oh, I didn't mention it. It's considered unlucky to have 13 guests at a table.
Oh, really?
So the Last Supper, there were 13 guests at a table. I think that could be a direct correlation there of why it could be unlucky to have 13 at a table.
Sure.
Clearly it didn't end so well for Jesus.
Yeah.
It was bad luck for Jesus. But here's my thing. It wasn't it wasn't because there were 13 people at a table together.
Right.
Or it was the number 13. It was because God said it had to happen. But also, if you think about it, I guess, and do a little bit of mental gymnastics, if Judas wasn't there, there would have only been 12 at the table, and then that would have been good luck because it wouldn't have brought about the turn of events that did.
Also because Judas isn't around.
Yeah, and that guy, just a dick. Horrible to eat with. He always used his hands.
I feel
it's an animal.
I have endless sympathy for Judas.
Yeah. Me too,
Poor guy got railroaded into a, he had to do it.
I mean, I would have betrayed him too.
Well, 40 pieces of silver was quite a bit, I think.
Yeah.
So,
The Knights Templar, on Friday the 13th, October 1307, King Philip IV of France ordered the arrest of Knights Templar. Most of the knights were tortured and killed. So that, to me, I understand why maybe that's one of the reasons we consider Friday the 13th bad luck. It's a day that, like, a bunch of people got murdered by their king.
Yeah. The Knights Templar, are they bad guys or what's the deal?
I don't know. I didn't look into them.
They're in all the conspiracy stuff.
Right.
That's
maybe we should add that as a topic.
We really should talk about the Knights
We'll
Templar
add that
sometime.
So full moons Years with 13 full moons posed problems for monks who were in charge of the calendar. It upset the arrangement of church festivals. You know, people get so angry when their festivals aren't at the right times.
People are pretty concerned about their festivals.
So they deemed it bad luck. Basically, they're like, this is a nuisance, bad luck. Also, a repressed lunar cult. That's how they describe this on the wiki. But the number 13 is represented femininity because there were 13 lunar or menstrual cycles.
I see.
The solar calendar gained popularity. People just disliked the number 13. And this is basically how they described it. It just became a thing. They called it an anathema. It just became a thing people didn't like. They're like, fuck that 13.
Interesting.
Fuck women. Not in a fun way.
That's really the lesson from history, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Also, in Hammurabi's code, there's a myth that Hammurabi's code was the first instance of superstition regarding the number 13 because the 13th code was omitted. But in the actual Hammurabi's code, they weren't numbered, so that's not really accurate. But there was a translation of it that did omit one of the codes.
Okay.
Because of the number. They numbered it, and so they omitted it. But it's not. It was a translation later on. It wasn't the actual code itself.
So what do they, like, number them 1 through 14 and skip 13 or something like that?
I think so. Or they just left it out entirely or something. I'm not
It'd be weird to leave one
completely
out.
sure. Yeah, it would be. It's kind of important.
It's a code.
Right.
Every item on it is probably kind of
It
important.
would really suck for someone if they read that translation so they didn't know it was a law they were breaking and then they were getting punished for it. Well, that wasn't in the version I had.
Yeah.
Is it a lucky number? Is 13 lucky? Italy considers the number 13 lucky. They have a phrase, fare tredici, which means to do 13, which is basically like to hit the jackpot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And in Italy, 17 is considered unlucky. Didn't say why, but that's their 13.
Interesting that it's another prime.
Yeah.
I kind of think there's something about the prime number thing that wigs people out.
Yeah. You know how, like, in music, there's the circle of fifths.
Yeah.
And if you study music theory, you learn all about that. But you don't have to study music theory to naturally follow the circle of fifths. Like, when I play music, I know very little about music theory. I know a little bit more than I used to. But when I first started writing music, I just played what sounded right. And when I started taking some lessons, basically my teacher was like, or maybe it was someone I dated who knew a lot about music theory. They were like, you're following the circle of fifths. Like, you consistently do this. And it's because they ended up calling it the circle of fifths and studying it because they realized we have a natural inclination towards it. It sounds good to our ears.
Yeah.
And I think it could be the same kind of thing, like something we kind of instinctively know is like something about prime numbers just like means something to us without us really knowing what they mean.
You know, I think the thing with the circle of fifths too is that, like, because so much of the music you already know is rooted in sort of established music tradition, you have a preference for it.
Yeah, you learn it without knowing you're learning it.
Right. Like, even though you already have like an inclination towards this sounds great, it's reinforced.
Well, it's like when we talked about Indian music theory.
Yeah.
And how I said when you first listen to Indian music, it's going to sound wrong to your brain because it's totally different. It's not harmonic the way that ours is. And ours is a lot. Essentially, if you grew up listening to Indian music, our music is boring.
Yeah.
And they're just totally different systems of making music. So I think what you're used to hearing really, like, what you're used to dictates what you gravitate towards because it's what you know.
Yeah.
Then we kind of got sidetracked with the music thing, but it's still interesting, and that's okay.
I think just to tie that quickly to prime numbers and then move on. It's like most of the numbers we're used to working with are multiples of other numbers for convenience sake.
I think people are drawn to even numbers in general.
Even numbers in general, and simple numbers that can be divided into chunks, like the 24 or the.
It's logical and neat.
Yeah.
And easy to compute.
Yes, I think it's why we have.
And no one wants a decimal point.
Yeah, right. We just like whole numbers that are easy to break up.
Yes. Okay. Another group that thinks the number 13 is lucky is Colgate University.
Okay.
Because they were founded in 1819 by 13 men with $13 and 13 prayers and 13 articles. Their campus address is 13 Oak Drive.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think that's something they did later, maybe.
Yeah, sure. It had to be.
And their male a cappella group is called the Colgate 13 because of that. So it's just something interesting. I thought it was cute.
This sounds adorable.
Right? They're in New York.
It sounds like a university populated by elves or something.
I have a feeling that it might be like a Catholic university or it might be a religious university in some way. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But the fact that they were founded with 13 prayers kind of makes me think that.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
Also, they founded it with $13, so it must be a long ass time ago.
Right. And they do the whole university. They think the number 13 is lucky. Like that is good luck for them, which makes sense.
Yeah.
In the tarot deck, death is the 13th card.
Interesting.
And just to sum up that part before I get into my conclusion, if you go looking for meaning, you'll find it.
Yes, I think so too.
If you keep your eye out for the number 13, you're going to notice it more. If you want to like ascribe a meaning to something, you're going to do that. Like you're going to interpret things in your life as being meaningful because you're noticing them.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, people have all kinds of feelings and theories and superstitions about what numbers mean. They're a way to explain the universe and interpret the things going on around us. And there are so many interpretations and methods. They can literally mean anything. It's the way that and I've seen a video where someone did this. Say you get a group of people in a room and I say, okay, I did your horoscope and I'm going to give you a piece of paper that says what your personality is like or what your struggles are based on your zodiac sign.
Okay.
You give the person this description, they're going to go, oh man, like that really resonates with me. Yeah. But if I give someone else who's a different sign that same description, they also go, oh, that really resonates with me. Sure. Because since there's so many interpretations and methods, and a lot of the language is usually pretty vague, like we discussed before, there's always things that hit. There's always things that resonate because they're very general. Yeah. If you say you struggle with commitment, almost everyone struggles with commitment in one shape or form. You know, it's like, and it's a universal thing. Like, how many movies are there about people struggling with commitment in some way? Like, we understand it as a concept.
I think people underestimate how multitudinous they are.
Yes.
I think people, like, in an effort to define what kind of person they are, they kind of...
We oversimplify.
Yeah, we have like a kind of a narrow idea. Like, if we were asked to describe ourselves, we probably have a pretty narrow description. Yeah. And totally ignore the vast multitude of traits that we also have at other times.
I think we also disregard the fact that we can be different and act different based on circumstances and who we're around and the time of day. You know, we're not simple creatures who just are what they are all the time. Right. We like to think that we are consistent. Yeah, we are and not. We are not hypocrites and we don't change with the weather, but we do.
Yeah, we totally do.
We're complicated. Yeah. One more thing I wanted to say is are some feelings about numerology by skeptics. So skeptics generally regard numerology as a superstition and a pseudoscience that uses numbers to give the subject a veneer of scientific authority.
Yeah.
And there were 2 studies done in which they investigated numerological claims. There was one in the UK in 1993. It involved 96 people, and they determined there's no correlation between the number 7 and self-reported psychic ability. Apparently that was the claim, is that if you identify with the number 7 for whatever reason, your name or birth date, you have psychic ability. That was what they said.
So you would at least expect those people to like
maybe
you said,
their names were 7 or their birth date came out to 7.
Yeah.
But no, these are people who said they have psychic ability, and it was, I can only assume, all over the map. I didn't dive too deep into that.
Gotcha.
There was another study in Israel in 2012 that involved a professional numerologist and 200 participants. It was designed to examine the validity of numerological diagnosis of learning disabilities like dyslexia, ADHD, and autism. And they repeated the study twice, and they had negative results both times. So basically, like, they did people's numerology, and they were saying, like, based on this number, you would have this trait. So this means you struggle more with this. So we're going to get you tested. You might have a learning disability. But it didn't work out that way.
What's really interesting about this stuff is it all seems like it has significance and works until you start measuring it. I do think that's true.
The same with so much of this kind of thing is that it feels powerful. It feels real.
Yeah.
And you can identify with it. But when you break it down, there's either no true way to measure its validity, or you can find a way to measure it and it doesn't stack up.
Yeah, right.
That being said, it's fucking fun.
It is
like,
fun.
It's fun. I still read my horoscope sometimes because it's fun.
Yeah.
I don't have to believe it. Yeah. I like tarot and I like this stuff. I like the zodiac signs and my horoscope because it's fun to think about. It's fun to be like, maybe we could predict what I'll be doing tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Right. Even knowing.
I do think there's a little bit of a trapdoor built into some of this stuff. Like the people who are diehard into it, who go, well, sure, it wasn't completely accurate, but because that you're using this system and not this system.
Oh, that is, yes, there's a weasel way out.
Or like it's not completely accurate because you're using this version of the zodiac sign, but then they found out there's that whole extra signs that changes things.
Yeah.
Or you know, you're using only like your birth date. You're not using the time you were born, which that's important too. Yeah. And that changes things. And you have a sun sign and a moon sign. And then if your other planet was in this thing, that can determine things. It's like there's always more to know.
Yeah.
That can explain why it doesn't ring true.
You know, if it was, and maybe it is, I don't know, if there was a highly profitable sort of like business around numerology, maybe there is somewhere.
There was a professional numerologist. Means they're getting paid somehow.
Yeah, because you got to think like that would be very easily exploited in the way that so many other things are, where it's like, oh, you just didn't get it the right way.
I can go on a website right now and pay money for someone to do my charts.
Wow.
Or pay money for my numerology. On that one website, I think it was Gaia.com.
Yeah.
It came up with like for 99 cents, do this thing.
Sure.
So it's like
initial small ask.
Yeah. There's definitely people making money off of this stuff, which is kind of like, I don't like anyone preying on anyone else.
Yeah.
And it goes along with the whole like psychic thing of the cold reading thing of like, you're going to have hits and you're going to have misses, and people remember the hits more than the misses.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games until someone gets swindled.
Yep.
I don't want to see anyone get swindled over this stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm all for just like, you like it, that's fine. But like, don't invest large amounts of money in it. Don't let people take advantage of you, but
Yeah.
sure, do some tarot.
Sort of all the things that we have talked about on here, this is pretty low on the scale of like how bad is this going to wreck your life.
I mean, it can in the most extreme cases, sure.
Yeah.
But if you're just using it like the lay person, like you and I, and just think it's cool and interesting and it's fun to play around with, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's fine.
We can loosen up.
It's
we can
just
shake it
fine.
up. We can have fun. We don't gotta be so angry and skeptical all the time, baby.
Baby, smile a bit.
Baby, just play around with the numbers a little bit. Have a little bit of fun.
Do a little addition. See how you feel.
This was a fun episode.
Yeah, this was fun. I have a challenge for our audience because all of this talking about numbers and imagined significance got me thinking. If you've listened to this whole episode, for the next week, I want you to treat the number 11 like it's your magic number. We're just going to create this out of whole cloth. I'll do this too. Take the number 11.
That is so weird.
Keep it in mind as a significant number and ride with it. See where you see it.
Baby, I'm already doing it.
Well, your number was one of those on the chart.
Yes,
your
but
11.
no, I was just doing Boba's number. Guess what his number is?
Is it 11?
It's 11.
So
See,
this is why I wanted to do this.
means something.
Because I, someone who knows nothing, but have just decided that this is important, now it is to us as a group, if you're listening. So
I'm going to try to keep track of this too.
yeah, I think it would be a worthwhile exercise because I have said to people before, if you are looking for something, you'll find it. Because people do go, God, I'm seeing this number all over the place. What
I've
does it
done
mean?
it too, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't say what does it mean. I know it's a coincidence, but I have had times that's happened. Or like a word that I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, and it's like kind of a word you don't hear all the time.
And then you'll hear it
and
again.
all of a sudden,
immediately.
3 times in one day. And you're like, why is everyone saying this word all of a sudden?
Right.
It's just like you're just noticing it.
So that's what I thought this would be a fun exercise. Let's all treat 11 like it's our magic number for 1 week and just see what happens. And if you're listening, let us know
Yeah,
if you
how's it
happen
go
to
for you?
spot it everywhere. Because I'm of the opinion, this is my experiment, we will start to see it if we just keep
you're
in mind that
focused on
it's
it.
significant.
And did it bring you good luck?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us that. Was it a lucky number 11 or an unlucky number 11? These are the things we need to know.
Right, yes. This is science. This is how we do it.
Synchronicity.
So, thank you so much for that episode. That was super interesting. to
This
me.
was one of the more lighthearted and fun episodes that we've done in a little while. And I think we really needed it.
In this one, no one got murdered.
No one died.
No one died.
That I talked. Well, the Knights, the
true.
Templar died. A lot of
true.
those guys
Knights
died.
Templar definitely
They
died.
definitely
Yeah,
died.
it's bad.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Knights Templar.
Maybe we don't know if they're good or bad yet.
Yeah.
We'll find out in another episode.
Just gonna shout about it anyway.
All right.
Just shout out. I like this kind of stuff because it speaks to our ability to create information out of noise, I think,
Yeah.
which is a fascinating human capability and actually a drive.
Brains are super good at it.
Yeah. It's one of our best skills. It's sort of like how we built so much of what we do in the world is bringing chaos or order out of chaos.
We make languages, we make number systems,
Yeah.
we learn math.
Yeah.
It's all to compute, to understand what's going on around us and to make shortcuts for interpreting what's going on around us. And
Yeah.
our brain does a lot of this naturally, but when you start thinking about what your brain does, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And this is just one more thing to try to explain the world and the things we don't understand, especially back in the day when a lot of these things originated, when we understood we didn't have as much knowledge of science.
Yeah, right.
It was a way to explain the unexplicable.
Yeah, I think so. It's like our earliest and most rudimentary systems at like figuring out stuff we couldn't even begin to understand.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
well, thanks again. That was awesome. I guess that does it for this episode of Goose Chase. Keep your eyes peeled for 11s, and we will see you next week with another episode.
This has been Goose Chase.
I just did that.
You did Goose Chase?
Yeah, you were on your phone.
I'm sorry.
Here, let's try it.
I was adding the Knights Templar to our list. Oh my God, I missed it.
You missed it.
Do it again.
All right. Hold on. Let's rewind. So that has been this week's Goose Chase.
Goose Chase.
Join us next week for another episode.
Thank you so much for letting me do the Goose Chase again.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
It would be like holding a sneeze. I know you guys.
Yes, I was distracted. I've only missed it once before.
It felt weird when you didn't join in.
I'm sorry.
I like kind of gave some space, and then I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel right at all.
I'm just gonna again make an excuse that I only had 3 hours of sleep.
Fair enough.
And there's a mice living in my room.
There's a mice
living in my room.
Yeah.
Let's end there.
Let's end there. We will see you next week with another episode.
Bye.
Have a great week. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Goose Chase. We are Goose Chase Podcast on Facebook and Twitter. On Twitter, our handle is @GooseChasePod. And our website is www.goosechasepodcast.com.
If you have any topics you'd like us to research, please email us at goosechasepodcast@gmail.com. If you like what we do on the show, please rate and review us on iTunes and Google Play.
Want to go on a goose chase?
Ooh, yes.